Hi, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Finals Week. It's me, Dr. Bob. Pardon the casual look today. I'm teaching at Chemeketa Community College as well here in Monmouth, Oregon. And so I've got my Chemeketa gear on. See if you can see my. And my buddy Shelby's with me too. Now, listen, I just wanted to take a few minutes and talk to you today about a few things. First and foremost, this is final exam week. It's the only assignment you have, and you have the regular week, if you will, till Friday, 11:59 p.m. And again, I always want to caution you. Every so often, somebody will say, "I sent it at 11:59 in 30 seconds, and it won't go through." Well, that's because it cuts you off right at 11:59.00. So try not to wait till the last second. Okay, so the final exam, I'm starting to get a few questions about it. I just wanted to tell you briefly what I'm looking for. Um, I want to see if you really understand the three sociological perspectives: symbolic interactionism, conflict theory, functional analysis. Briefly, functional analysis is the oldest of the three perspectives. It's a perspective that looks at the various institutions of society, whether it's family, education, economy, religion, the polity, government, and mass media. And functional analysis says, look, if something's been around such a long time, it must serve some important function in society, keep society stable. And functional analysis also says that because it does perform these important functions, when one of them's out of whack, society becomes unstable, then the other institutions sort of rush in to help support it. But functional analysis also is the perspective that these institutions play an important critical role in our lives, so much so that they determine the course of our lives in most cases. And that's sort of a deterministic perspective, if you will. Conflict perspective comes from the work of Karl Marx. He didn't call it that, but it comes from his work. And what it's saying is, here's my Marco Rubio moment here. I can have a little water. I just came back from the gym. That's why my hair is wet. Just got out of the shower. Anyway, the conflict perspective says, look, there's large, wealthy, powerful groups in society, and they use their wealth, their power, their status to oppress subordinate groups. You can look at it in terms of race, whites versus non-whites, gender or sex, men versus women, males versus females, or you can look at it in terms of social class. And that's pretty much how Marx was looking at it. The third perspective, of course, is symbolic interactionism. It is the newest of the three perspectives, and it's an interpretive approach. The first two are macro-sociological. Symbolic interactionism is micro-sociological. It looks at the interactions between groups of people. But what's key for symbolic interactionism is symbols. Everything is a symbol, and the way we understand what that symbol means is through interaction. Okay, so that's the first part of the exam. The second part is being able to provide examples of each one, whether we're talking, you take your pick, which question you want to answer. You want to apply the perspectives to marriage and family, race, ethnicity, or gender. So the reason for the examples is to demonstrate to me that, okay, you've defined what the perspectives are. Now tell me, show me, if you will, that you understand how these perspectives are used to analyze various phenomena in society. For example, if we take marriage and family, the functionalist perspective would say, well, it performs an important function in society, marriage and family. It creates a stable environment to raise children, prevents the incest taboo, it creates an environment where people can succeed in society. If you look at the stability of society, and that's just brief, right? Conflict perspective says, no, marriage and family is just another way for men to dominate women. If you look at the chores that men do compared to the chores women do, who makes the major decisions in the family, these kind of things. And you could look even further, I'd look at the legislature as it pertains to women's reproductive rights, and who's controlling those? Well, primarily men. Symbolic interactionists say no. they look at, again, the symbols. What does marriage and family represent? Well, marriage is a symbol that you've reached adulthood, and it's a societal expectation. The mass media creates it. The various institutions support the notion that you're supposed to get married. That's what adults do. And so marriage is a symbol that you've reached that mature state in life. So anyway, briefly, that's how you would do the exam, if that helps. I will post your grades probably Friday, maybe Saturday. I'm thinking actually give you Friday to get everything in, providing everybody gets them all done by Friday. And they absolutely have to be in by Friday. I cannot give you an extension. I'm sorry, I wish I could in some cases. I cannot. Those exams have to be in so that I can grade them and post your grades just as soon as possible, which is my intention. Okay, finally, let me just say this, and then I'll be quiet. And that is the notion of keep coming back. You may have heard me mention from time to time that I'm quasi-involved with, at times, with Alcoholics Anonymous. And what I can tell you briefly is this: I'm not a member, but I've been to enough meetings to know that at the end of each meeting, they stand up, they hold hands, they form a circle, if you will, and they say these three words: keep coming back. That's my message to all you good people today. Keep coming back to school. Keep signing up for classes. Keep taking the exams. Keep coming back, because I promise you, just as I'm standing here before you today, I know you had a goal in mind when you started down this road. If you keep coming back, you will achieve that goal. I promise you, you will exceed your goal, and you'll be richer for it. Again, not just because of the extra money you're going to make, because there clearly is a relationship between income and education, but you will be richer for it because you can call yourself a college graduate. Something only 28% of Americans can call themselves. Only about, I think, 3% of Americans have a master's degree, and only 1% of Americans have a doctorate. So keep coming back. Thank you for a great semester. Good luck to all of you. Thanks. Bye.